Hey everybody, we are the Traveling Trio, and if you don't know who we are, I am Leanne.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Brody.
And we are Orlando locals. We live in Winter Garden, Florida, about 5 minutes from the Magic Kingdom, and we are avid Disney cruisers.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, we have all three of us here.
Yeah, let's do it.
We are going to talk about our review of the Cabana at Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. Did you like it?
I did.
All right, let's get into it.
So we're going to be talking today a little bit about family beach cabanas at Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. So the very first thing we're going to talk about is getting off of the ship.
Yeah, it was super easy. We didn't really take advantage the whole way because they will come with a golf cart and take you all the way to your cabana.
Yeah, we ended up actually walking the pier, which I didn't think was that long, about a 10-minute walk.
I never think it's that long. We live near Disney. We walk the World Showcase weekly.
Yeah.
It's not that far.
It's really not that bad, but should you choose to get picked up in the golf cart, they'll do that. Otherwise, again, just walk it to the end of the pier. A golf cart will pick you up there and take you to Cabana check-in.
Which was so easy. The Cabana drove to check-in. They looked at our little form and they said, Cabana 19.
And that was it.
And then we just kept going on.
Yeah.
And it was nice to have that golf cart that took us all the way to the end because we were the very last cabana before you got to the Grand Beach cabanas.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. So that was kind of clutch. If we were cabana 1 or 2, it wouldn't have been a big deal, but we were all the way at the end, so definitely was great.
Which worked out really nicely because it was very private.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk first impressions about the cabana.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
It was so nice. We have been on 15 Disney cruises at this point. We've done 3 concierge. We've never gotten a cabana, mostly because we never cruised anywhere concierge that
went to
access.
Castaway Cay or
Lookout.
Yeah.
And this time we weren't concierge either. We just were on a sailing that was less full during the school year on a small ship. I think those 3 things really allowed us to get that cabana.
Yeah.
It was so pretty.
I would agree with first impressions of the cabana was beautiful. The views were beautiful. There was the view of the ship in the family cabanas. It had their own private beach. I really, really loved the cabana itself. It was a wow factor for sure.
Wow factor. Just walking out from the inside of the cabana onto the back deck, and it opens up to that beautiful crystal blue water and the Disney magic in the background. It was wow.
I would say life-changing. I mean, it's not life-changing, but it almost feels like it is. Cruise-changing. Because
Private island changing.
Private island changing, for sure. So, especially since it's something we've never gotten to do before, since we started cruising back in 2008.
2008.
Yeah.
On the Magic.
Magic.
It was even more special.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's talk a little bit about what's included in the cabana. Your freebies.
Your ride to the cabana is included.
Yep, your Uber or Lyft.
Your sunscreen, your snacks. What kind of snacks did we have?
So there was fresh fruit, like apples, bananas, oranges. They also had granola bars, and they were like the Nature Valley ones, so the really crunchy ones.
And Lay's potato chips.
Yep, potato chips were included. They give you a snorkel kit as you walked.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, you walked in the front of the cabana. They already had a snorkel kit for you with
for everybody in your party.
Yep.
So all the snorkel gear.
So that was included.
Lounge chairs at the beach.
Lounge chairs at the beach. I know that wasn't previously a thing. I think they've recently added those. So everyone gets lounge chairs at the beach now. So that was really, really nice.
Towels, a lot of towels, and sodas. And in the refrigerator with the sodas and waters were cold towels.
Yeah, those were clutch.
Oh my gosh.
Especially it was so warm. It was so nice to have the cold towels, but also, the free sodas. Of course, you could go to the drink station where they were serving lunch and get, free soda there too, but to have it in a can right there at your cabana was,
You get a host or a hostess, and we did not use them really for the most part. We used them to go back to the ship at the end. However, there were so many diet sodas, Diet Sprite, Diet Coke, water, regular Coke, which we don't drink, but it was in there.
Yeah.
That we didn't need a refill of anything.
No, and what's nice too is like there's a tablet built into the wall, so where you can change the music. They have different types of music that you can play. You can order drinks for you or anyone in your party. Obviously, the alcohol is not included. You have to pay separate for that. But, you know, the bar service will come.
It's not very obvious.
Well,
I mean...
in a Disney environment,
in a
Disney cruise.
Yeah, it's not included, so...
I think it's obvious.
You pay for the cabana, but that does not come with alcohol.
So, yeah, I really enjoyed the fact that they had that tablet. If you needed help at any time, you know, the host will come. They'll deliver whatever you need. If you need more towels, they'll bring you more towels. It was convenient. We just didn't use it quite as much as I think we might have thought we would, but it was nice to have.
You get a private lunch, so compared to Castaway Cay. So this is at Lookout Cay only. You get a private dining, what do you call it? Dining,
It's just a dining location.
the dining location is only
Yeah.
for the cabana guests.
Exactly.
And that's only at the family beach for the cabanas.
Correct.
If you get a cabana on Serenity Bay, you share the dining location with Serenity Bay.
Right.
But the dining options were a little bit elevated as compared to what is at the normal beach area.
Yeah, so like if you get a cabana at Castaway Cay, you get your lunch at Cookies 2 Barbecue. But here, Lookout Cay, the cabana guests have their own lunch station. It includes, you know, a few things that you don't typically get within that kind of a meal if you're, you know, within the regular dining areas. So like you get shrimp, peel and eat shrimp with cocktail sauce. They have the crab legs, almost kind of like what you get on embarkation day in Cabanas.
Yeah.
And then they also have, like there's a prime rib steak and it's made to order. And it was good. It's very thin, and they overcook it. I mean, of course, you know, it's on the island, they want to, but so it still was good. It's very, I would say, it reminds me of what you get at Serenity Bay. Like they do those steaks there too. So I think there's a few things that are different, but for the most part, it's the same. It's just nice because you're not dealing with a ton of people.
Yeah,
over
there's
there.
not a ton of people. I will say, I was a little disappointed in the lunch because I thoroughly enjoyed the lunch at the normal side of the island. And they didn't have those items.
Yeah.
Like they did not have the jambalaya. I think that's what it is. They did not have the
Chicken sandwich
chicken
was different.
No, they didn't have it.
Yeah.
They didn't have the spicy chicken sandwich. So I was really looking forward to those things, and they didn't have them. So.
And if it wasn't clear, this is our second time to Lookout Cay. Ooh.
Wow. Yes, again,
Thunder.
we live in Florida.
Oh yeah. We forgot to mention we're coming to you live from our lanai, which is an outdoor/indoor space. And it's storming right now, so you might hear some thunder and rain in the background. So, a little ASMR.
And I also realized that I've been looking directly in the middle of the ring light the whole time.
Oh.
So if I look weird in the beginning of this video, it is because I'm blind in one eye and I don't know where the camera is. And I just
Top
realized
right of
it's
the
up
phone.
there. So
It is,
yay. Yeah. Anyways, that's what's included in the cabana, and then you get a ride back to the ship.
Yeah. The ride back to the ship, again, you use that tablet. You make a request. Essentially, the hostess comes. You let them know you're ready to leave. Checkout time is 4 p.m. We stayed the whole time.
We stayed until 4 p.m.
We were literally, I think, one of the last, if not the last, cabana people that were still
Second
there.
to last.
Yeah. Because we wanted to take advantage of it. And we had never had a cabana before. This is, you know, it's costly. So we wanted to get our money's worth, so to speak. So we stayed the entire time. We got there pretty much when, you know, the cabanas were available, and we stayed until they were closed.
We
so
did.
We closed them down.
It was a great day. I loved it.
Yeah.
What's next?
Let's talk a little bit about, I guess, we can talk a personal review, you know,
Okay.
I guess
Yeah.
how we all thought. I
Okay.
like to talk a little bit about, like, Rose and Thorn and, you
Yeah.
know, like, you know,
Yeah.
one thing I like, one thing I hate, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, yeah. I will say, when I booked this, they did not include, there's nowhere on there where it says the price. And I was under the impression that it was $535 to book a cabana. However,
Yep.
that is the price of the cabana at Serenity Bay. The price of the cabana at the family beach for the normal, regular size cabana is...
It's like $987. It's pretty much $1,000.
Yes.
And we did not realize that
No.
until I had gotten the portfolio, not even on the ship, because I didn't really go through it as much as I normally do, until we got home. And because I was wondering, I was like, gosh, it's a little higher than I remember.
Seems like we spent a lot on this trip.
Yeah.
And we had a significant amount saved from our visa, our Disney visa.
Yep, and then we also had an onboard credit from our travel agent, which is Be Our Guest Travel.
Shout out Lisa at Be Our Guest.
Yep. So if you're looking for a travel agent, they are amazing, and they help a lot of vloggers that we know, anyways, that use them. So.
But I just wasn't prepared for how much that was. $1,000 is really steep, so that is my thorn. Would I do it again? Absolutely yes. It was magnificent. I loved it. It was so relaxing and much needed. However, I think I would lean towards only doing it again if it were just the two of us and we can go to Serenity Bay and do it, or when Brody's 18 and we can go to Serenity Bay. But by the time, in 2 years, who knows how much Serenity Bay is going to cost for Cabanas. It was just a sticker shock because when we started even looking at booking Cabanas, they were what, $3.99?
Way back in the day, yes.
Yeah, like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
it was
decade
a long
ago.
time.
But yeah, and I honestly, like, I look at making sure I get value out of whatever I'm doing. And to me, $500 I was getting good value out of a Cabana for the day. $1,000 is like my tipping point. I thought they were incredible. Do I think it was $1,000 incredible? Probably not.
I know, this is a hot take. Like, people are not going to agree with us on this.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah, we're totally okay with that.
We don't like debt. We don't like to walk away from a vacation in debt, and we didn't know that we were going to do that. We thought our entire vacation was going to be covered by our rewards credits and onboard credit that we had, and so that was a little bit of a sticker shock to come out with like it was like $600 in debt that we were not prepared for. Yeah.
So just keep in mind, always check the pricing when you can. Cabanas are not easily obtained.
No.
And a lot of times they're reserved for concierge guests and concierge guests only. So, just, be advised, word to the wise, make sure you understand the cost.
Yeah, and again, it was so good. I want to, say that it was amazing. I will love to do it again. Yeah. I can't wait. I would love to, also, I think a big point to make is that I want to do it at Castaway Cay because Castaway Cay's areas are so much smaller. Right. Where it's hard to find serenity at Castaway Cay. Right. You have people, I feel like they're on top of you, especially if you go there on the Wish.
Yeah, on the bigger ships, there's a lot more people.
Yeah. But
I agree.
So having a cabana on Castaway, I think, would be amazing, but they are still $1,000. But at Lookout, it's such a widely spread out island that you can have that
your own
peace
space
and quiet and your own space on the island, even if you're on one of the larger ships.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everything about the Cabana was amazing, and we absolutely loved it. But yeah, so I think the rose there for me is everything that was included, the Cabana itself, the lunch. I mean, I really enjoyed all of it. And Thorn was just, the price was steep. So if you're prepared to spend that and you find value in a Cabana, highly recommend getting one if you have the opportunity. Again, they're not easily come by.
What does Ferris Bueller say? I highly recommend it if you have the means.
If you have the means.
So choice.
It is so choice. If you have the means, I highly recommend picking one up.
It's so choice. I could not agree more with that.
It was. I mean, if you have the means, I highly recommend it. So we also like to go on multiple cruises a year, and I feel like if we did a Cabana, that would take away from our opportunity to go on another cruise. Yeah, and we have another one booked for later this year. We're going to Alaska. Back to Alaska. Oh, Wonder. Last time we did Royal Caribbean's Quantum of the Seas in Alaska, and this time we're doing Disney Wonder. So it'll be a great comparison to see the differences. We know the differences between Disney and Royal, which is why we've come back to Disney. But to see how Disney does Alaska. Yeah. So. And then we're going to get Brody out here to share his opinions because he's part of our trio and he wants to share his opinions on the Cabana without having heard our opinions. Yeah, yeah. Brody will be out here right now.
All right, then.
So, Brody, what are your thoughts overall on the Cabana?
Well, let's see. First things first. It was pretty spacious. You had just a lot of places you can go, lay down, sit down, dine if you had snacks or something like that. Just I like the amount of space it had. It also had a good view too. Every single one has a good view with it of the ocean. It's got good snacks too. It has chips, Nature Valley bars, sodas too. I like that. and I think that was about it with the Cabana that I liked about it. You know,
Would you do it again?
I would definitely do it again. It was great.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
In conclusion,
Go ahead.
I loved it. I loved it. I loved everything about it. It was so hard to leave.
So where do we go from here?
I think our next video, we're gonna spend a day at sea.
Day at
On
sea?
board the Magic. We took a little detour from our cruising videos for a bit because we have been doing so much cool stuff around the Orlando area.
Yep, at Disney World, Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground.
Yep. So yeah, we'll head back onto the ship for a day at sea, and then after that,
We'll
you
see
know,
you
we'll do a little bit around town before we head off on the Disney Wonder.
and see you in Alaska.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right.
Welcome to Cabana 19.
Cabana 19. Incredibly lucky. So here's the tour.
Here is the tour. Come on.
Come on in.
There's a lot of seating in here.
Yes.
You walk in, you've got a couch, some chairs and tables. We've got a tablet here for service. So basically anything that you need on here, you could press the buttons.
Yep. Yeah, so it's music and service. So if you want to place an order for something like drinks, or if you need something from one of the concierge hostess,
Or if you
can
need
get something.
snacks,
Yep.
you know, anything like that.
Yep. So of course you have a delicious assortment of fruits and chips, and it's all complimentary.
Granola bars.
Yep. They also give you sunscreen, which is great, and they have a fridge, which is fully stocked with regular sodas, diet sodas, and waters. And I love that they have the
Cold
ice cold
towels.
towels. That's so cool.
They did give us snorkeling equipment.
Yep.
It was waiting outside, all clean and ready.
That's very cool.
Towels. There's a closet here.
Yep. For storage, there's also a safe if you want to put any of your valuables in there. More towels.
And
And more-
sandcastle building
Oh, good.
stuff.
I'd like to do that later.
And then we have these nice slider doors.
Yeah, those are great. Just in
Open or
case.
close, in case it rains.
In case it rains, but I don't think we're expecting rain today. It's a beautiful, beautiful day.
77 degrees.
77, partly cloudy. The Disney magic in the distance, which is amazing.
Got our table for eating out here.
Yep.
There's more chairs and a table there.
Yeah. This is set for such a much bigger family than a trio, but for today we'll take it. We'll soak it up.
I think, I'll correct this if I'm wrong, but I think this cabana you can have up to 6.
6?
I think.
That seems low.
No, it's not. The big grand cabanas can do more than that. So
Gotcha.
I think you have maybe it's up to 10. I'll correct it.
One of the things that we saw.
Right here.
One of the things that we saw in one of our previous videos of people with cabanas is that they didn't have chairs available other than one spot that was kind of central to the beach. But that's changed. There's chairs now. If you can see, they just stack them and pop them in the corner. And then you can take them out.
And we set ours up, so we
Yeah.
can come on down here.
So we went ahead and set those up already. Head down the stairs. Take a look at the beach. Now this cabana is in front of a pretty rocky area, but literally if you go a little bit this way or if you go a little bit that way, then you're pretty much right into the sand. So, but you can still enter the water there. Actually our son is out there right now taking pictures with his GoPro. So, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful area. And then there's the chairs that we have set up. So you do have a nice area, outdoor area to take naps if you want to be out in the sun or take naps in the cabana. So.
They do have major stairs to get down here to the beach, but there are accessible cabanas as well.
Yes, yeah. So make sure you're aware of which cabanas are accessible for a wheelchair and which are not. I think that'll wrap it up for the. I want to say room tour. It's a cabana tour. So
Look at that ship.
can't go wrong with the Disney magic.